Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long while, but today I like to just make a video about what having cancer at 14 kind of taught me about life and sort of some principles that I try to implement into my life, in which I feel like have helped my life be more fruitful and joyful on the whole. And
Boy, if you don't get your squiggly diggly head
cheers, so let's get right into it. I would say the first lesson that having cancer taught me would be that you're the only constant in your life, and truly your personal happiness is determined by yourself, and that personal happiness is determined by your interior, not by your exterior. So things that come to you on the outside, like money, fame, reputation, the newest car, the newest clothes, all of those things are arbitrary and their value changes over time. All those things are material and they're not what makes you happy. Sure, your internal reactions to those things make you have a semblance of feeling happy for a fleeting moment, but that's not true happiness. If you think that if you have that job, if you won the lottery, if you have this, if you have that, if you had that before, you would have been happier then, you would have been happier now. That type of thinking, that's circular. All that's gonna make you do is end up being a miserable person in your life. While I was dying, because I genuinely did think I was going to die, I didn't care about my videos that were going viral. Like, I literally woke up to my video that had 24 million views on TikTok and 5 million likes, and I saw it and I showed it to my mom and I said, "Oh my gosh, look, cool." And she said, "Cool." And then I shut off my phone and, took my morning meds and went about my day. I didn't really care because that was not what I was trying to spend the last moments of my life putting my gratitude into. I was putting my gratitude into my family, to things that matter to me, because I choose what matters to me. I don't let others choose what matters to me. I feel like today's day and age, we see everyone else having the coolest car, having the best clothes, having those racks of money on the street, and we think that all those things make them happy, and we see them smiling on their Instagram pages, and we think that they have this ideal perfect lifestyle, but no, that's just all on the surface, and all social media is a snippet into someone's life and not the full reality. And if you just look at that snippet and judge yourself based on that snippet, base your whole life off of a snippet of someone else's life, that's not gonna work out for you or your happiness. So I realized that in order to truly become happy, you need to learn how to be happy with yourself. And sometimes that's hard, because sometimes in life we find ourselves in a spot where we don't have people that we can talk to, we don't have people we can go to, or at least we feel as though we don't. And during those times, we feel at our lowest. But while we feel at our lowest during those times, it does help to reach out to somebody, and you should. But I feel like during those times, it's a good way to sort of figure out, how can I self-talk and how can I self-soothe and how can I get myself out of this mindset? Because you have to have those skills and assets in order to become an independent person and not rely on others to have a sense of stability. And the second thing that I learned is that motivation is one of the most important skills in life. And motivation is not just the feeling of desire towards something and wanting to get that something, it's actually taking action. So motivation and action go hand in hand. Those celebrities that you see, most of them at least, business owners, most of them at least, actually maybe just a few, are in the position that they are because they wanted something and they took steps towards it. Actually, they took steps, big steps or small steps. It didn't matter what the step was, because it was closer towards that aim, and then in the end they ended up having a semblance of what they wanted, or they ended up getting what they wanted and even more. But if all you do is sit down on your butt and look at the things that you want and fantasize about, if you had them, you're never going to get them. So I see like this trend on TikTok about manifesting and stuff, and just like, writing down how much you want something over and over again in the same way, and then somehow that will, no. How about you stop doing that and spend all the time that you're spending writing down something over and over again in a notebook, and how about you actually take a concrete action towards whatever you're wanting, and not just, think that if you speak it into existence, then it will automatically come to you. And so that's what I learned about motivation. It's all about just taking steps towards an aim and having the willpower to do that, having the willpower to make yourself do something you might not necessarily want, to have delayed gratification and get what you want in the end, by doing something that's not so comfortable in the moment, which I feel like is a discipline that people have had throughout the ages, but I feel like all of a sudden we're losing. Now everyone expects that they're gonna get everything like that, and a lot of the times people are getting things like that because of how instantaneous everything is with, social media or whatever. Someone can have a whole career overnight nowadays, and it's amazing and scary and bad all at the same time. I guess one more thing that I did learn was the whole trope, you get cancer and you realize that you shouldn't be caring as much about what everyone thinks about you. You shouldn't be caring about all these fictitious and arbitrary things. But no, truly. Because if you're absorbed and the perception that you believe others have of you, then all you're going to do is lead yourself down a delusionary and stressful path, I guess you could say, because all you're doing is constantly worrying about how others think of you, when really what you should care about is what you think of yourself. What's your opinion of yourself? Are you proud of the person that you are? Are you proud of the achievements that you made in your life? And if you're not, that's okay. But you should want to change that. And you should want to change your life if it's not what you want it to be. You shouldn't ever settle for less. You shouldn't ever settle for the lesser option. You should always strive for the best for yourself and for those around you. Also, just on the side, be careful about who you surround yourself with. Be careful about what energy you let into your life, because if you surround yourself with people that you don't look up to and who you don't want to be like, and who don't build you up and don't lead you towards a brighter future, you don't need them. People are temporary. You're the only constant in your life. People and things come and go, but in the end, it's just you. So what really matters to you? What really matters to you is what you need to ask yourself. Do you care more about your personal happiness than you do about seeming popular? Do you care more about your personal happiness than the amount of likes that your recent got? Do you care more about your personal happiness than what that person thinks of you? And your answer to all of that should be yes. And the lesser of the two, you shouldn't care about at all. So you shouldn't care about all what that person thinks about you. You shouldn't care at all. Because all those things, what people think about you, what people are doing in relation to you, everything that you don't actively change or influence in your life is outside of you, and you have no control over, and you can't spend your time worrying about, because if things are going to happen, they're going to happen. So I guess that's sort of my 2 cents on living since having cancer. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry I'm cutting it a little bit short. I have SAT testing in the morning. If I could make a video like this for hours on end, I would. Probably will. Anyways, have a nice life. I love you all. Bye.